Chapter 1 of Art and Culture, Prehistoric Rocks and Paintings. The distant past, when there was no paper or language or the written word, and hence no books or written document, is called prehistory. So, what is prehistory? Prehistory is the distance past when there was no paper or language or the document language or the written word, and hence no books or written documents, is called as the prehistory, or as we often say, prehistoric times. How people lived in those times was difficult to surmise until scholars began to discover the places where prehistoric people lived. Excavations at these places brought to light old tools, pottery, habitats, bones of ancient human beings and animals, and drawings on caves and walls, and drawings on cave walls. By piecing together the information deduced from these objects and the cave drawings, scholars have constructed fairly accurate knowledge about what happened and how people lived in prehistoric times. When the basic needs of the food, water, and clothing and shelter were fulfilled, people felt the need to express themselves. Painting and drawing were the oldest art forms practiced by human beings to express themselves, using the cave walls and as their canvas. So, why did prehistoric people draw these pictures? They may have drawn and painted to make their homes more colorful and beautiful, or to keep the visual record of their day to day life, like some of us who maintain a diary. The, pre, the prehistoric period in the early development of the human beings is known as the Old Stone Age or the Paleolithic Age. Prehistoric paintings have been found in many parts of the world. We do not really know if lower Paleolithic people ever produced any objects. Okay, so this means that there is no evidence of the art objects from the lower Paleolithic period. But by the upper Paleolithic times, we see a proliferation of artistic activities around the world. And the walls and many caves of this time are full of finely carved and painted pictures of animals which the cave dwellers hunted. The subjects of their drawings were human figures, human activities, geometric designs, and symbols. In India, the earliest paintings have been reported from the Upper Paleolithic times. So it is interesting to know that the first discovery of the paintings was made in India in 1867-68 by an archaeologist, Archibald Carlyle, 12 years before the discovery of the Altamira in Spain. Cockburn, Anderson, Mitra, and Ghosh were the early archaeologists who discovered a large number of sites in the Indian subcontinent. Remnants of the rock paintings have been found on the walls of the caves situated in the several districts of the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Bihar. Some paintings have been reported from the Kumaon Hills in the Uttarakhand also. The rock shelters on the banks of the river Suyal at Lakhodiar, about 20 kilometers on the Almora China Road, bear these prehistoric paintings. So the rock shelters on the banks of the river Suyal at Lakhodiar, about 20 kilometers on the Almora China Road, bear these prehistoric paintings. Lakhodiar literally means 1 lakh caves. The paintings here can be divided into 3 categories: man, animal, and geometric patterns in white, black, and red ochre. Again, the paintings here can be divided into, that is in the Lakhodiar, the paintings in Lakhodiar can be divided into 3 categories: man, animal, and geometric patterns. 3 categories of man, animal, and geometric patterns in white, black, and red ochre. 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 Humans are represented in the stick-like forms in Lakhodiar. A long-snouted animal, a fox, and a multiple-legged lizard are the main animal motifs. Wavy lines, rectangle-filled geometric designs, and groups of dots can also be seen here. One of the interesting scenes depicted here is of hand-linked dancing human figures. There is some superimposition of paintings. So there is some superimposition of paintings. The earliest are in the black. Over these are the red ochre paintings, and the last group comprises white paintings. So the earliest are in the black, and over these the red ochre paintings, and the last group, that is first, the paintings are made out of the black color. Then over black, the the red ochre is superimposed, and or the red ochre paintings are superimposed on the black colored paintings. And in the last group, the white paintings were superimposed over the red ochre paintings. From Kashmir, two slabs with engravings have been reported. The granite rocks of the Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh provide suitable canvases to the Neolithic man for his paintings. There are several such sites, but more famous among them are Kubgallu, Piklihal, and Tekalkota. Kubgallu, Piklihal, and Tekalkota in Andhra Pradesh. Three types of paintings have been Kubgallu in Telangana at present, Piklihal in Karnataka, and Tekalkota in Karnataka. Kubgallu in Telangana, Piklihal in Karnataka, and Tekalkota also in Karnataka. Three types of paintings have been reported from here: paintings in white, paintings in red over a white background, and paintings in red ochre. So in this southern states of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka, three types of paintings have been reported. First, painting in white. The second is the painting in the red ochre over white background, and the painting in the red. So these are the hand-linked dancing figures of the Lakshya Diyar in the Uttarakhand, and this is the wavy lines of the Lakshya Diyar in Uttarakhand. Wavy lines of the Lakshya Diyar in Uttarakhand. So these paintings belong to the late historical, early historical, and Neolithic periods. So the paintings belong to the late historical, early historical, and Neolithic periods. The subjects depicted are bulls, elephants, sambars, gazelles, sheep, goat, horses, stylized humans, tridents, but rarely vegetal motifs. But the richest paintings are reported from the Vindhya ranges of the Madhya Pradesh and the Kaimurian extension into the Uttar Pradesh. These hill ranges are full of Paleolithic and Mesolithic remains, and they are also full of forest. Wild plants, fruits, streams, creeks. Thus, a perfect place for Stone Age people to live. Among these, the largest and the most spectacular rock shelter is located in the Vindhya Hills in the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Bhimbetka is located 45 kilometers south of the Bhopal in an area of 10 square kilometers, having about 800 rock shelters, 500 of which bear paintings. The cave paintings of the Bhimbetka were discovered in 1957-58 by eminent archaeologist V.S. Wakankar, and later on many more were discovered. Wakankar spent several years in surveying these inaccessible hills and jungles to study these paintings. The themes of paintings found in here, that is in Bhimbetka, are of great variety. That is ranging from mundane events of daily life in those times to sacred and royal images. These include hunting, dancing, music, horse and elephant riders. These include hunting, dancing, music. This is important. Music, horse and elephant riders. Animal fighting, honey, collection, decoration of bodies and other household scenes. Now the interesting fact here is that horse is found in the Neolithic times, but there is no surety or no direct evidence of the horse in the Indus Valley civilization. And the timeline of the Indus Valley civilization is after the Neolithic, several hundred years after the Neolithic. So this is important. So other events include animal fighting, honey collection, decoration of bodies and other household scenes. The rock art of Bhimbetka has been classified into various groups on the basis of the style, technique, and superimposition. The drawings and paintings can be categorized into 7 historical periods: Period 1, Upper Paleolithic; Period 2, Mesolithic; and Period 3, Chalcolithic. After Period 3, there are 4 successive periods, but we confine ourselves here to first 3 periods, that is Period 1, Upper Paleolithic; Period 2, Mesolithic; Period 3, Chalcolithic. Then comes the Upper Paleolithic period. The paintings of the Upper Paleolithic phase are linear representation in the green and dark red of huge animal figures such as bisons, elephants, tigers, rhinos, and boars, besides stick-like human figures. This is the cave entrance in Bhimbetka. Different images. Elephant rider. So Upper Paleolithic period. The paintings of the Upper Paleolithic phase are linear representations in green and dark red of huge animal figures in Upper Paleolithic period, such as bisons, elephants, tigers, rhinos, and boars, besides stick-like human figures. A few are wash paintings, but mostly they are filled with geometric patterns. The green paintings are of dancers and the red ones are of hunters. So next comes the Mesolithic period. The largest number of paintings belong to the period 2, that is Mesolithic period, that covers the Mesolithic paintings. During this period the themes multiply. During Mesolithic period the themes multiply, but the paintings are smaller in size. Hunting scenes predominate. The hunting scenes depict people hunting in groups armed with barbed spears, pointed sticks, arrows, and bows. In some paintings, these primitive men are shown with traps and snares, probably to catch animals. The hunters are shown wearing simple clothes and ornaments. Sometimes men have been adorned with elaborate head dresses and sometimes painted with masks also. Elephant, bison, tiger, boar, deer, antelope, leopard, panther, rhinoceros, fish, frog, lizard, squirrel, and at times birds are also depicted. The Mesolithic artists loved to paint animals. In some pictures, animals are chasing men; in other, they are being chased and hunted by men. Some of the animal paintings, especially in the hunting scenes, show a fear of animals, but many others show a feeling of tenderness and love for them. There are also few engravings representing mainly animals. Though animals were painted in a naturalistic style, humans were depicted only in a stylistic manner. So, in Mesolithic period, humans were depicted only in a stylistic manner. So, in Mesolithic period, humans were depicted only in a stylistic manner. Women are painted both in nude and clothed. The young and the old equally find place in these paintings. Children are painted running, jumping, and playing. Community dances provide a common theme. There are paintings of people gathering fruit or honey from trees and a woman grinding and preparing food. Some of the pictures of the men, women, and children seem to depict a sort of family life. In many of the rock shelters, we find hand prints, fist prints, and dots made by the finger tips. This is another image from the Bhimbetka. So the next comes the Chalcolithic period. Period 3 covers the Chalcolithic period. The paintings of the Chalcolithic period reveal the association, contact, and mutual exchange of requirements of the cave dwellers of this area with settled agricultural communities of the Malwa plains. So the paintings of the Chalcolithic period revealed the association, contact, and mutual exchange of requirements of the cave dwellers of this area with settled agricultural communities of the Malwa plains. Many a time Chalcolithic ceramics and rock paintings bear common motifs. Example: cross-hatched squares, lattices. Many a time Chalcolithic ceramics and rock paintings bear common motifs. Example: cross-hatched square and lattices. Pottery and metal tools are also shown. but the vividness and vitality of earlier periods disappear from these paintings. The artists of Bhimbetka used many colors, including shades of white, yellow, orange, red, ochre, purple, brown, green, and black. But white and red were their favorite colors. The the paints were made by grinding various rocks and minerals. They got red from the hematite known as the Geru in the India. Hematite is also known as Geru in India. The green came from green variety of stones called the Chalcedony. Green from the green variety of stone called Chalcedony. White might have been made out of the limestone. The rock of the minerals was first ground into a powder. This may then have been mixed with water and also with some thick or sticky substance such as animal fat or gum or resin from trees. Brushes were made of plant fiber. What is amazing is that these colors have survived thousands of years of adverse weather conditions. It is believed that the colors have remained intact because of the chemical reactions of the oxide present on the surface of the rocks. So what is it is believed that the colors have remained intact because of the chemical reaction of the oxides present on the surface of the rocks. So painting showing a man being hunted by a beast in the Bhimbetka. The picture is not clear. Khair. The artists in Bhimbetka made their paintings on the walls and ceilings of the rock shelters. Some of the paintings are reported from the shelters where people lived, but some others were made in the places which do not seem to have been living spaces at all. Perhaps these places had some religious importance. Some of the most beautiful paintings are very high up on the rock shelters or close to the ceilings of the rock shelters. One may wonder why early human beings chose to paint on a rock in such an uncomfortable position. The paintings made at these places were perhaps for people to be able to notice them from a distance. The paintings, though from the remote past, do not lack pictorial quality. The pictures from the Bhimbetka do not lack the pictorial quality. They are of good pictorial quality. Despite various limitations such as acute working conditions, inadequate tools, materials, etc., there is a charm of simple rendering of scenes of the environment in which the artists lived. The men shown in them appear adventurous and rejoicing in their lives. The animals are shown more youthful and majestic than perhaps they actually were. The the primitive artists seem to possess an intrinsic possession for storytelling. These pictures depict in a dramatic way both men and animals engaged in the struggle for survival. In one of the scenes, a group of people have been shown hunting a bison. In the process, some injured men are depicted lying scattered on the ground. In other scene, an animal is shown in the agony of death and the men are depicted dancing. These kinds of paintings might have given man a sense of power over the animals he would meet in the open. So this practice is common among primitive people of today also. They engrave or paint on the rocks as part of the ritual they perform at the birth, at death, at coming of age, and at time of marriage. They dance masked during hunting rites to help them kill animals difficult to find or kill. The paintings of individual animals show the mastery of the skill of the primitive artist in drawing these forms. Both proportion and tonal effect have been realistically maintained in them. It is interesting to note that in many rock art sites, often a new painting is painted on the top of an older painting. It is interesting to note that at many rock art sites, often a new painting is painted on top of an older painting. At Bhimbetka, in some places, there are as many as 20 layers of paintings, one on the top of the another. Why did the artist paint in the same place again and again? Maybe this was because the artist did not like his creation and painted another painting on the previous one. Or some of the painting and places were considered sacred or special. Or this was because the area may have been used by different generations of people at different times. These prehistoric paintings helps us to understand about early human beings, their lifestyle, their food habits, their daily activities, and above all, they help us understand their mind, the way they thought. Prehistoric period remains are a great witness to the evolution of human civilization through the numerous rock weapons, tools, ceramics, and bones. More than anything else, the rock paintings are the greatest wealth the primitive human beings of this period left behind. So, so this is the image. The hunting scenes predominate in the Mesolithic painting. So this is the Mesolithic painting, and the hunting scenes predominate in the Mesolithic paintings. This is one such scene where a group of people are shown hunting a bison. Some injured men are depicted lying scattered on the ground. These paintings show mastery in the skill of drawing these forms. So these animals are hunting, and some men are shown lying scattered on the ground. So this is the dancing scene from the Lakhudyar. Yes, Lakhudyar rock cave. In this picture, the hand linked figures in the dancing mode are shown. In fact, this is the recurrent theme. It also recalls the dancing scene from the Lakhudyar rock painting found in the Uttarakhand.